So let's have a little chat, shall we? Let's have a little occult chat. This is your host, The Occult View. As usual, it's a lot of stuff going on in the world and just in general, as usual. But I wanted to talk about something that I recently just saw. It's been coming up in my YouTube feed for some reason. And I don't watch this show. I mean, I have watched it in the past, but I've not watched it lately. And that is the Steve Wilkos show. And Steve Wilkos has some very interesting, to say the least, topics. And this particular topic that came up was very disturbing. And it came up in my feed, the Steve Wilkos show, and this particular topic came up. And people who are familiar with Steve Wilkos, he does all types of shows and makes people take lie detector tests to see if they're telling the truth or whatever the case may be. Is everyone getting ready for the holidays? I'm sure you are. Anyway, this particular segment was about a black couple. They're no longer a couple now, of course. And the boyfriend accused the mother of having a inappropriate sexual relationship with her 18-year-old son. And it's really hard for me to say those words because I find that to be very, very disgusting and creepy and just nasty in general. Let me say that. It's disgusting. What's even more disgusting is the fact that basically these allegations were not true per se because they took a lie detector test. The reason I'm talking about this is because lies can get people seriously hurt. Oftentimes, people say that the devil is the father of lies, right? People say that often, often. Well, if the devil is the father of lies, right? Who is the devil in this situation? Because when I look at it, I'm looking at this boyfriend as the devil. This is the devil. This is the personification of the devil and devilish works. And the more you listened to the story and the synopsis of the life between this woman and this man, you will begin to understand why he was gunning basically for her son. Her son is a young man, 18 years old. He's a manager at his restaurant, or he doesn't own his restaurant. He's a manager at the restaurant that he works at. He was doing things for his mother that the boyfriend should have been doing. And the mother, and rightfully so, she was disturbed by these disgusting lies and allegations because she said that what sparked this was she came home from work. There was no toilet paper in the house. This man has been sitting up in the house all day long, did not go and get any toilet paper. When she confronted him about it, she said, I've been at work all day, and you mean to tell me you did not go out and get any toilet paper? Toilet paper! You can get toilet paper for $1 at the dollar store. So after that, because she confronted him, he talked some shit to her, called his friends and was talking shit to her. I bet he's a Leo. I bet you he's a Leo. Either a Leo or some form of air sign, possibly even a goddamn Virgo. Because Virgos, we can get down in some dirty ways too. Not me, but we can. Because she was asking this man to do his part in their relationship, a part that he could not fulfill. He made up this disgusting lie. He told the police, he even told CPS these lies on this woman, all because he was not holding up his part in the relationship. So he said that he had audio footage and footage in general that he recorded because he had a recording device in their bedroom. And he said that that is how he found out that she had been having a sexual relationship with her own son for the past 3 years. He said that he put that recording device in his bedroom because someone was stealing from him. But how can someone be stealing from you when you could not even afford, sir, to go out and even get toilet paper? How could someone possibly be stealing from a bum? Because that is what you are. You are a bum. And actually, you are beneath a bum because you made up a vicious lie that this woman was sleeping with her son. All because she called you out on your lack of participation in that relationship. So what's interesting is he would not come out on Steve's stage. He wouldn't come out on the stage. Steve Wilkos asked him, he said, "Why won't you come out on the stage?" And I'm not understanding why Steve Wilkos, they gave the mother and the son, they gave the mother and son a lie detector test, which they passed. It said that they had not had any sexual intercourse with each other. But they didn't give him a lie detector test, or maybe he refused it. So if you refused it, then why did you even come to the show? Why did you even come to the show? And the son was getting ready to get at him. The son put hands on him, but of course the guards on the show, they broke them apart, and rightfully so. You sat up and embarrassed that woman and her son in front of millions of people, and you told that lie. And then even after the results, he said, "Oh, I don't care what you all have. I know what I heard and I know what I saw." Because basically, we're all adults here, but basically he claimed that he heard the mother on the audio because his story was very convoluted and confusing. He heard the mother on the audio giving her son fellatio. This is the lie he was telling. I hate even saying that shit. But this is the lie this man was telling. See, it's lies like that that get people seriously hurt. He kept saying that the mother and son were sick people. You know why he kept saying they were sick people? Because the son was providing for the mother financially in a way that he could not. And when the son came out, he said that I was doing things for my mom and helping to take care of my mom because he wasn't doing it. He was getting money from my mother. What type of devil is that? See, that's the devil right there. That's the devil. He's a devil. That's the devil. And a lot of us, sometimes these devils come into our lives. And that's truly a devil. And you know, I am so fortunate. Yes, I've had disagreements with my friend that stays with me. He's not here now. He's out of town because his mother passed away. Um, but yes, I've had differences with my friend, but never once has he did anything like this. This is disgusting what this man did. And truth be told, this man should be under the jail for telling that type of lie. And then on top of that, he had on red tennis shoes. And you know what they say about people who wear red tennis shoes, right? For him to formulate that sick, perverted thought, for him to even have those types of perversions, see, we already know that he's pulling from the lower unconsciously, we already know he's pulling from the lower parts of his spirit with the red tennis shoes. He's pulling from the lower and the, let's just say, the lower vibrating aspect of the chakra, the root chakra, excuse me, because chakras have low vibrations and high vibrations. The root chakra has a lower frequency and it has a higher frequency. When you are operating in a balanced higher frequency of the root chakra, you're balanced, you're grounded. But when your root chakra is imbalanced, like this man's root chakra is imbalanced, when that dimension is imbalanced, this is the type of stuff that you do. You do stuff just like this. Excuse me, I blow my nose. Where's my tissue? Oh, here it is. This is the type of shit that you do. Just like that. So we already know he's pulling from the lowest aspect of the root. He's arrogant. He's nasty. He's an egomaniac. He's a sociopath. It takes a psychopathic, sociopathic person to do something like this. And unfortunately, there are so many men and so many people in general, not just men, but there's so many people in general who are just like this man right here, who will lie, steal, kill, and destroy other people just because they don't get their way. He tried to destroy that black woman's life because, and she was telling Steve more on what caused the disintegration of their relationship. And what she was telling Steve and explaining to Steve was she wanted certain things for her life, and he wanted to stay in the same position. I'm assuming that he did not have a job or he did not have a good job. So she went out, as always with black women, she went out and got another job because she wanted something better for herself. He became jealous. And then, not long after that, that is when he started making these allegations about she and her son were sleeping together because this particular devil could not make it. He could not fake it. The only thing he could do was wear red tennis shoes. And suffices to say, we all know, let me say it again, we all know what they say about men who wear red tennis shoes. Dare I say it? They say that men or people who wear red tennis shoes are into child sacrifice and pedophilia, which child sacrifice and pedophilia are intertwined. But this man is sitting up here accusing this woman of having a sexual relationship with her son. But my question is, who had a sexual relationship with you when you were a child? What are you hiding within you? And I don't mean that in no derogatory way. I don't promote nobody getting violated. But who violated him? You accuse this woman of violating her son, but the question remains, who violated you? Wearing those red tennis shoes. Who violated you? He is stuck. I look at his face. This man is stuck in hell. See, he's in hell right now because he's stuck in the lower vibrating dimensions of himself. If we didn't learn anything from the movie Skeleton Key, one thing that I did learn is that when that man was trapped in that other man's body, he was trapped in a place of hell. He was trapped. He was trapped. And this man is the same way. He's trapped in his own personal hell. And there are so many people around, and then people wonder why the world is the way that it is. Because the world has so many people like him who are running around this world and nothing gets done about it. The justice system does not do anything about it. They let people like this get in positions of power. They let people like this rehabilitate. A person who would make that type of false, disgusting allegation is someone you cannot trust children around. That man should not be trusted around children. He should not be trusted around children. And like I said, I normally don't watch the Steve Wilkos show, but I will use anything as an example for everyday life and occultism. And you can see that this man is operating on the lowest form of his root, the lowest form of it, because he's not balanced, he's not stable. He could not even make enough money to buy toilet paper. You mean to tell me that you can't even, as a man, you don't want toilet paper in the house? You couldn't even get toilet paper? No, it wasn't about the toilet paper. It was about pure jealousy. When you are operating in the lowest forms of your root chakra, when you are operating in the low vibrating part of your root chakra, jealousy is one of those emotions that manifest for people who are operating in the lowest part of the root or in the lowest part of the dimension. I like to call the chakras dimensions, but I'm going to say root so people, chakra so people can understand, what I'm, talking about. Now, I don't know what's going on in that woman's household. I don't know, but she took a lie detector test, she and her son, and I don't think that they are that savvy to cheat it. She and her son took a lie detector test, and it both came back conclusively that they were telling the truth when they said they had not had any type of intimate contact. But when you look at the world is ran. There are a lot of people just like this man that are in the world who are in positions of power, who will lie on you, who will try to destroy your life, who will put lies out on you just like this, simply because you want to better yourself. And it may not, it could be a woman that does it too. It's not just men. It could be a woman that does it as well. But in this case, it was a man, a whole black man who was supposed to be protecting the black woman, but yet, and you know what's so funny in this entire debacle, he kept saying he didn't want to get her in any trouble. And she said this when she was talking to Steve. She said he kept repeating, I didn't want to get her in any trouble. Why wouldn't you see? This is where you have to pay attention to the signs. Let me break this down. You have to pay attention to the signs. What is this shit? Give me a second. You have to pay attention to the signs. He kept telling her, and she was relating this to Steve, what he said to her, that I don't want to get you in any trouble. Well, here's a few things about that. Let's say, for the sake of disgusting argument, that what he said was true. If you knew, which it wasn't true, but he said, I didn't want to get you in any trouble. Well, if you know that she's violating her child, why wouldn't you want to get her in any trouble? That's number one. Why would you sit back? Why would you sit back? See, you have to look at these people when they reveal what their subconscious is really pulsating and putting out into the universe and emanating and putting out into the universe. You have to understand what they're saying. You have to understand their language. See, when me and my friend used to get into it, he would get upset with me because I understood the language of the subconscious. I understood body language. Body language is a form of expression of the subconscious, even if people try to hide it. And I'm very good at looking at people's body language, looking at their eyes, and looking at their movements. And see, he gets upset with me about that sometimes when we get into it because I can see who you really are. If you knew that this woman, let's just say for the sake of argument, was abusing her son, why wouldn't you want her to get in trouble for that? And even she said, the mother said that. That's number one. That's number one. Why would you not want her to get into trouble? And the sad thing is, he's not a bad looking man. He's not a bad looking man at all. And that's the sad thing. He's a nice looking chocolate guy, dark chocolate guy, but he's toxic on the inside. You have to pay attention to the subconscious signs. See, what he's telling us about himself is that he's the one that has those proclivities to have those types of sick, disgusting relations with underage children. Those are his proclivities. That is what he's really saying. He's guilty about something that he did. I see you motherfucking niggas. I see what you do. But then he wants to put those perversions off on the mother and the son. And he's not the first man to do this to a woman, to make these false, disgusting allegations. He's not the first one. But I just thought I would take this opportunity to talk about it because, again, it really just shows what is really going on in the world and why the world is moving in the way that it's moving because people like this, people like this are the ones who are uplifted in the world. They're uplifted. He gets to go on with his life wearing red tennis shoes, not even knowing the energies that's attracting to him. It's nothing wrong with wearing red, but it's the symbol. And if your mind is not in the right place, and if you're not aware, then you're going to attract all types of things to you. And it's so interesting, once again, he didn't take a lie detector test. He didn't even want to come out on the stage, and he didn't because he knew he was lying. Number two, he kept telling her he did not want to get her in any trouble, right? But that's exactly what you tried to do. He went to the police, he went to CPS, not because this happened, but because he was trying to destroy this woman. That is what he wanted to do. He wanted to destroy her because he was angry that her son, who's an 18-year-old young man, is doing better than him. He's an older black man. He looks like he could be around my age, maybe a little bit younger, maybe late 30s, maybe a little bit younger than me. And that is when a lot of men start getting very bitter in their age. And I don't care who gets offended about what I'm saying. If the shoe don't fit, then don't wear it. But if it fits, fucking wear it and own it. And if you don't like it, then change it. So you can do one or two things. You get mad, you can own it, or you can get mad, own it, and change it. See, there were things about myself that I didn't like when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, I was very nasty. I was very nasty for a lot of reasons. A lot of it was defense mechanism. But I did not like the trajectory that my life was taking. In my 20s, I was nasty, had a very nasty attitude. And when I got into my mid 30s, that is when I started to have an epiphany. And I realized I did not want to be the person of my teens, of my 20s. I ain't never did no shit like this. But I'm not innocent. Nobody is innocent. Nobody. Children are innocent, but nobody's innocent. But it's up to you to change, if you want to. But this person, he's never going to change. He's not going to change. He is rooted in the low vibrating part of his root chakra. He is rooted. That's what you call rooted. He is a rooted mother plucker. He's rooted. But again, it's a lot of people in the world that are like him. And some of them even claim to be, some of these men even claim to be spiritual men. That's a very dangerous thing. And then they wonder why certain things happen. You wonder why the ancestors may come in and take certain individuals out. Or certain things, spirit may let certain things happen. Think about what you have done. And then somebody like this, he'll go join a church and become a pastor or a reverend of a church and never make amends for this type of shit that he did right here. Because what he did to this mother and her son, this is going to cause a lifetime of trauma for them. And he will go on with his life after he told that lie. And then suffices to say, he's probably the one, as I stated earlier, who has these proclivities to mess with children. And then he wants to put it off on someone else with his red tennis shoes. Because again, you know what they say about men who wear red tennis shoes in Hollywood, at least. That's a symbol that they have harmed and sacrificed children. And isn't that exactly what he's doing? Sacrificing this 18-year-old young man because he was not man enough to help out the mother. So the 18-year-old young man had to step up and do it. And then to be faced with this type of trauma and lie. Is this protecting the black woman? Is this what you call protecting the black woman? And I bet you he's one of these types of people who sits up and talks about Black Lives Matter. I bet. But then he will do some sick, demented shit like this. This is why I don't have faith in nobody but me and my spirit. That's it. But anyway, I just thought I would talk about that because that was crazy. That was really crazy and really disgusting. And there are a lot of people who are like that. And you can look at him and tell that he's very angry, he's very volatile, he's very bitter. Again, these are all signs that he's operating from the lowest point or the lowest vibrating point of his root chakra. Mr. Red Shoes. That's exactly what he did. He sacrificed this woman's son. And he sacrificed her. simply because he wasn't man enough to do the things in that relationship. So then the son had to come in and give his mother money. And when I say in the relationship, he wasn't giving the woman any money. He wasn't helping her. So she had to go out and get a second job. Then he got all in his ego and got mad. I would love to know what woman raised him. I would love to know what woman raised him to do something like that. I'm not blaming his mother because I don't know anything about her, but I would love to know what woman raised you to go out and lie on another woman like that and tell that type of disgusting lie. Now, the mother in this show, I don't know anything about her. I'm not saying she's perfect, but one thing I will say, her son seems very well mannered. He's the man. He's only 18 years old and he's already managing a restaurant. So this mother has done something right. She's done something right. And see, a lot of times men like that, because their childhood was rooted in trauma and abuse, they will get jealous if they see their girlfriends or their wives treat their children, if the children are not theirs, and even sometimes if it is theirs, they will get jealous if they see that the children are getting treated better than they were treated when they were raised. They will get jealous about that. My aunts and uncles were jealous of me when I was coming up because my grandmother, I was the apple of her eye. And then when she died, they all turned against me. Now, of course, they will tell me that, oh, that's not true, Seer, but it is true because they were jealous, especially my uncle. And he going through a whole lot of shit now. And he ain't that old. But he was definitely jealous when I was born. When my niece and nephews were born, there wasn't a jealous bone in my body. Not a jealous bone in my body. Not one. Because even though I did not know it at the time, I was self transforming even then. No, I wasn't perfect, but I was going through a self transformation then, learning how to be a better person in a sense, if people want to, if people can understand it that way. Because I did not let the poison of my family affect my relationship with my nieces and nephews, because I have quite a few of them. I didn't let that poison and toxicity affect my relationship with them. This man who told this lie on the Steve Wilkos show about this mother and son, he is poisonous. He's like a poisonous rattlesnake. He is toxicity and poison all in and of itself. He is the devil. He is the personification of the devil. And I would advise any women that see this man, I'm going to put the link of that Steve Wilkos show in the video description box. And I would encourage any woman or any women in that area to run. Don't fool with that man. Don't fool with him. Don't mess with that dude. He is the type of person that will bring destruction and chaos and misery and death and misfortune into your life, because that's all that he walks in. That's all he walks in. Maybe it was you that had that type of relationship with your mother. Is that what it really is? Are you reliving the proclivities and, the experiences that you had with your mom or some relative in your family? Because he comes off as an abuse victim as well that hasn't dealt with it. Because men don't, especially black men don't deal with their emotions, and they don't deal with the abuse that they've been through. So what do? They go out and try to inflict it on other people. And that's men in general. And it can be anybody across the board, but we're talking about this man right here, if you can call him that. And the reason that I'm talking about it once again is because the world vibrates on this frequency. And if you're not careful, you can get caught up in it. Because these are the type of people that the world is making concessions for. These are the types of people that the world puts on pedestals. He'll go become a preacher or a reverend, like I said earlier, and then he'll say God and Jesus will forgive him, but yet you've caused all of this trauma in other people's lives. And sometimes people don't ever heal from stuff like this. But you will go on, get married, have children, and think that everything is okay, never making amends to the people that you have hurt in this way. We can speak up and talk about that. It's nothing wrong with that. That is why a lot of times you have to learn to heal thyself. And that's what the Christ consciousness is all about, healing thyself, despite what your enemies may have done. Because when I look at enemies now, I look at them as pathetic. I look at them as ants. Nothing against ants, but I look at them as very miniature. I don't look at them as a threat anymore because I can see them for who they really are. They are weak people. They are imprisoned people. They are imprisoned in their dimensions, in their lower dimensions, and in their minds, no matter how religious or spiritual they are. And I bet you this motherfucker probably talks about God all the time. How he's a godly man and he believes in God and he prays. I bet you he's one of those type. I bet you he's one of the types that I've talked about before. He wants everything positive. I don't want no negative vibes. I want only positive vibes. I only want love in my life. Really, nigga? You want all of these positive things in your life, but you are leaving trauma, chaos, and havoc everywhere you go. And so you shall sow. What you reap, you shall sow. That is my curse to you. Because that is some effed up shit that he did to that woman and her son. If those allegations are not true, that is some effed up shit. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. Take your vitamin B12. I remember Fiona Good said that in American Horror Story. But anyway, this is the world. This is the world we live in. These are the types of people that the world really likes. Truthfully, I don't think that he should have even been given a voice to be on TV. But I'm glad the mother and son were able to clear their name. I'm glad they were able to clear that up and clear their name. At least, I'm happy for that at least. Because that's some fucked up ass shit. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I wanted to talk about? Let me think. I don't even want to talk about I don't want to talk about no reality shows. No, I don't want to talk about that. Let me just say this. Phaedra or Married to Medicine, that is not a good fit. I'm just gonna say that. Phaedra or Married to Medicine is not a good fit. Ciao, bye. Get Phaedra off of there and put her back on Housewives of Atlanta. I don't care what Candy say. I don't care if Candy's mad. Put her back on Housewives of Atlanta. Now that'll be some real drama or TV for you right there. You know, I do not like Brittany on Basketball Wives, the one that threw the drink in Brooke's face. I don't like her, and then she's a Pisces on top of that. And Pisces are very volatile. I think a lot of them are psychopathic because I've had a lot of experience dealing with Pisces, and they're always coming for cancers. I noticed that about Pisces. Brooke is a Cancer. Brittany is a Pisces. She threw that drink in Brooke's face. But I tell you one thing, Brooke is going to get her ass. That cancer is going to get her. That cancer is going to get her. No, but I do not like Brittany. I do not like Crayona or Crayon, that cartoon character, the one that pushed Jennifer. I don't like her either. Something is wrong with that lady. Why do they keep hiring? See, that's what I'm talking about. Crayona or Clayona and Brittany, all of them are just like this man that I'm talking about. These psychopathic people who are operating from the lowest vibrating point of their dimensions. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. She had no right to throw that drink in Brooke's face. Brooke did not deserve that. But a lot of times, Pisces are jealous of Cancers. A lot of times. A lot of times they are. Because Cancers are like a whole different type of frequency and vibration. They operate on a totally different higher frequency than most of us. And Pisces, they get very jealous when someone else is on that frequency that they can't really get to. And I don't care who gets mad. It's just the truth. You know? But anyway, that was my layman talk for today. I just wanted to come on and say about this particular segment of Steve Wilkos. I think it was an old segment, but I had never seen it before. But his shows have been coming up in my feed lately, and I don't know why, but I had to speak on that. That was some fucked up ass shit. That was some fucked up ass shit. And I don't care what nobody say. It was. You know, it was. Hopefully, and then I'm gonna be done after this. Hopefully, that woman and her son will press charges against him for slander, and hopefully they will sue him. And I know he does not have any money, so hopefully he will go to jail for telling that lie. He needs to go to prison. He needs to go to prison for at least 5 to 10 years for telling a lie like that. And then you're out here protecting real predators because you can tell he's a protector of predators. That is why he said, I didn't want to get you in any trouble. So he has a history of protecting sexual predators. Even though this woman didn't do that, but she made the point, why would if I did that, why would you still be with me and not say anything? That's because he has a history of protecting predators, just like he's protecting the predator that preyed upon him. Was that his mother? Or his father? Or his auntie? Or some family friend? Let's just be honest. But you want to sit up and you wanted to falsely accuse this woman of this crime. I can't stop talking about it. I'm so upset about this. You wanted to falsely accuse this woman of this crime, and then you think you can just walk out of someone's life like that? No, I wish that woman knew me. I wish she knew me because I would do work. I don't normally do this, but I would do work on him for her. I would destroy his motherfucking existence. And not just in this dimension, across the dimensions. People ain't ready for that type of work, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that. I would destroy his life in every possible way. I would crush him. Anyway, this is the occult view. That's all I have to say. Be careful out there, people. Be careful who you allow in your circle. This woman had been with this man for 13 years. 13 is a powerful symbolic number. She had been with that man for 13 years. And I guess she didn't realize he was the damn devil. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you.